Thank you so much, Andrew. And wasn't that inspiring? I mean, I'm a local Salt Laker, and I mentioned in my remarks that there's 880,000 new Utahns since the Olympic Games. I think you're one of them. And your beautiful wife, Tracy, we love having you. Really great vision. Okay, come on up here, panelists, and I will introduce you. We are going to talk about this Wasatch Choice 2050 vision. Welcome Mike Caldwell, the mayor of Ogden. You're a local economic development guru. I like to think that you're one of these guys that's created a lot of publicity for Ogden in Forbes magazine, Money magazine, Newsweek, and you also enjoy high adventure recreation lifestyle with your family. Your most proud title is dad and husband.
Absolutely.
Nice to have the mayor here. Let's give him a hand.
Appreciate you having us.
Then we have a good friend of mine, Abby Osborne. Abby holds the position of Vice President of Government Affairs for the Salt Lake Chamber. It's a statewide chamber of commerce in our state. She oversees legislative efforts by working with local, state, federal officials and staff, develops legislative goals by creating policy proposals for the business community on a wide range of business issues. Importantly, she specializes in transportation. Abby holds the position of Executive Director of the Utah Transportation Coalition. Please welcome Abby.
Thank you.
And then another friend of mine, Ted Knowlton. Ted's career has focused on coordinating local placemaking with regional infrastructure. His experience includes developing regional plans in Chicago, Denver, Los Angeles, and Salt Lake City. These efforts have garnered 2 prestigious Daniel Burnham Awards from the American Planning Association, and importantly, Ted is currently the president of the American Planning Association Utah chapter. Welcome, Ted.
Thank you.
Okay, so you all are mic'd up, and I want to start by just asking for a quick reaction to what Andrew Gruber presented to us. I thought that was a fabulous presentation. And what I really liked, and Andrew didn't say these words, but I saw it on the screen, he mentioned it said locally driven, regionally significant. And this seems to be the real magic you're trying to get is locally driven policies that create regional outcomes we like. Mayor, I'd love to hear you just comment on that.
Well, I would agree, and I certainly appreciate Andrew and the leadership he's provided at this. It's funny, I was laughing a little bit earlier with Bob Stevenson, the Layton City Mayor, who's here somewhere. We kind of talked about how sometimes as a mayor in a city, you get a little bit hyper-focused on what's happening in your city. Talk about a lot of times elected officials are held captive to the tyranny of the urgent. The phone's always ringing and somebody's always knocking at your door, and you don't get a chance to sometimes take a deep step back, take a breath, and recognize what's going to happen. I actually worked for the Salt Lake Organizing Committee when the Olympics came through the first time, and to think we're almost 20 years removed from that. And you look at these projections and think you can blink and that kind of time goes by. And so as we started to develop and look at what we wanted our next 10 years to look like and what we wanted to see happen along the Wasatch Front, our vision expanded greatly. And even just driving down this morning, for example, from Ogden to get here, it was really congested and I was rolling over my steering wheel leather, just kind of frustrated with that. And I think we double the population, we're going to end up being stuck in these islands along the Wasatch Front because we can't go anywhere. We're going to get so congested that we all kind of get stuck in place. I don't want to see that. I don't want my kids to see that. I've lived in some larger cities. I lived in Denver for a little while, in Portland for a little while. And those were great communities, but I always came back to the Wasatch Front because of the quality of life that it afforded me. The ability to get to the desert and get in the mountains, this mountain to metro accessibility was really important. And the pictures Andrew showed of the ski resorts, Little Cottonwood Canyon was, I think, that picture. That's a dichotomy I have as a mayor. We do great Monday through Friday, and then I take my kids up to go ski on Saturday. I'm like, where'd all these people come from? And it really does. It's a lot different Utah that we live in now.
Yeah, we have a challenge.
We do.
We do.
We do. And so this kind of a coming together of people and really sharing ideas and being more regionally focused instead of what we're trying to do with economic development and just our little pockets and just our little cities is critical. So again, I appreciate Andrew and the vision that Wasatch Front Regional Council have brought to this. Utah is, you get people that come all the time and ask about, what are you guys doing? What is going on in Utah? What is the secret sauce for what's happening here? And in my opinion, it is collaboration. And you can see it across all spectrums. I'll just give a quick example. We had a couple in the last 6 years. We've had a couple of devastating windstorms that came through our communities. And if people waited for government to step in and to clean that up and to clean the roads up and to clean all the debris out of their neighbors' yards, we would still probably be cleaning the debris out of our neighbors' yards. But everybody came together, everybody got together, stood each other up, and did a yeoman's amount of work in just a handful of days to get all of that accomplished. And so that spirit of cooperation is unique here in a way that I don't think we have anywhere else in the United States. I hope it continues as we look at our long-term vision for what we want the Wasatch Front to be like, the communities we're going to leave for our children and grandchildren. I think it's critical, so I celebrate everybody being here and engaging in this process. I think it's critical.
Great. Ted, I want to go to you next. You have had experience in a lot of metropolitan areas as a professional. You know, you're a guy that knows numbers, knows models, knows theory.